Hello and welcome to our final company presentation. My name is Nayeli Sanchez, CEO of Wildcat Capital, and for today we are going to give a summarization of our decisions and strategies for the last 7 quarters for our company. Now to begin, I will just give a brief overview of what our presentation is going to be about and who will be involved in the presentation through the subjects. So to begin, I will introduce the team and talk about our vision and our mission. And next will be James Stevenin, VP of Marketing. He will discuss who we are against. He will also discuss what we did, so kind of a summary of our decisions and strategies that we had made through all the quarters and giving explanations why we had made those decisions. The next will be Yankuba Fall, VP of Accounting and Finance, and he will talk about how it all played out. So just giving a brief review of our financial and strategic performances and demonstrate the effects of these decisions and strategies that we had created. Next will be Gilbert Sanchez Solano, VP of Manufacturing, and he will go over our internal and external factors of the environment, and he will make comparisons between our first quarter and our 7th quarter and just talk about what the effects were of those issues. Next, again, will be Yankuba Fall, VP of Accounting and Finance, and he will go over our financial statements. So basically highlighting the comparisons between quarters 2 and 3, and lastly quarters 6 and 7, and seeing if there was any discrepancies between them. Tracy Sublet will be next, VP of Human Resources, and she will kind of talk about what we plan to do in the future in the next 3 years, what our strategies will be, what decisions are we going to make sure that we are a competitive company. And lastly will be Connor Quinn, VP of Sales, and he will kind of just talk about the lessons that we've learned through all these 7 quarters and what winning strategy can we develop to make sure that we are a financially and strategically successful company in the future, so that we can be able to compete with our rivals. So this is our overview. I hope you enjoy the presentation, and thank you for listening to Wildcat Capital. All right, so to begin, we'll talk about our vision and our mission for our company, Wildcat Capital. So for our vision, we wanted to make sure that we were a company that was going to cater to the needs of the market. That means keeping our ears to the ground and making sure we knew what our customers' needs and wants were. How did we do that? We wanted to make sure that we were innovative. So that meant making sure that we could afford buying the features and upgrades that our customers were demanding, and really investing in our research and development to make sure that we had the technology that was upgraded for our time to meet our customers' needs, as well as having affordable prices for our computers. Although we had all these features that were up, we still wanted to remain competitively priced. That way we built a lot more brand reputation and brand loyalty over having a high quality computer at an affordable price. So that meant we met our customer needs. Now, our last objective was to be a financially responsible company, and that meant that we were not spending more than what we think our projections were going to make, and based on those decisions, making sure that if we did take on debt, we were going to be able to pay it off within the next quarter or 2 quarters, and trying to stay away from taking any emergency loans. So through all of those values that we developed, we made our mission, which was offering the fastest and most reliable computers at the most affordable price. Again, we want to reiterate that we are a company that's going to listen to our customers and making sure that we are delivering the high quality and affordable products that they are demanding from us. And the next one who we'll be discussing will be James Stevenin, VP of Marketing, and he will just talk about our competitors.
Hi, my name is James Stevenin, the Vice President of Marketing. I just want to show you who we were against last quarter by showing you a couple of our competitors. So Maple, United PC, and Wildcat Capital were the top 3 performers in the simulation. So just target market for each. We really focused on the Traveler and Mercedes markets. Maple really focused on the Mercedes and Workhorse, and United PC was pretty split among all the market segments. Market share of each, 17%, 25%, and 26% were the top 3 Marketing strategy for Wildcat Capital was really brand design, creating strong brands. Maple created multiple advertisements for each market segment, and United PC created many brands. For products, Wildcat Capital had 5 brands, Maple had 5 brands, and United PC had 9 brands. So as you can see, they almost doubled the amount of products that we had. For pricing, Wildcat Capital had the biggest range from $2,000 to $3,800. Maple's price range was from $2,350 to $3,600, and United PC's range was from $2,200 to $3,700. And Wildcat Capital had sales centers and distribution channels in Chicago, Sao Paulo, Paris, and the web. And Maple United PC had a sales center in every city, including the web as well. Now for strengths, so Wildcat Capital was strong with human resources management and financial risk. Maple was strong with finance, marketing, and wealth. And United PC's strength was manufacturing. For weaknesses, Wildcat Capital struggled with wealth, Maple struggled with human resources management, and United PC struggled with asset management. For opportunities, Wildcat Capital has the opportunity to increase its marketing effectiveness. Maple has the opportunity to improve its human resources management by possibly using some of their wealth to better compensate their workers. And United PC has the opportunity to balance its manufacturing with its asset management. And for threats, all 3 companies were threats to each other. Like I said, they're the top 3 companies, and all 3 were threats to each other. Now, just what we did throughout the simulation. So in quarter 1, we really focused on the workhorse and traveler markets, and we created the Elevate brand. In quarter 2, we created the Horizon brand, and we're still focusing on the workhorse and traveler market segments. In quarter 3, we decided to upgrade both of our products to Elevate Pro and Horizon Pro, and we started to reach out to the Mercedes market a little more because nobody was really focusing on that market. In quarter 4, we added Horizon XL in addition to Elevate Pro and Horizon Pro, and again we were focusing on all of the market segments. And in quarter 5, we upgraded our brands to Elevate XL, Horizon SE, and just Horizon, and still we were focusing on all of the markets. And in quarter 6, we realized that we really needed to increase the number of options for each of our market segments. So we kept the Elevate XL, the Horizon SE, and Horizon, and added Horizon 2.0 and Elevate 2.0 and Precision, and we were still focusing on all the markets. And overall, just a big takeaway I had, something I learned from this quarter, was just to create brands and products that meet consumer needs and wants. And that wraps it up for me. Here's Yankuba Fall with how it played out.
Hello, I'm Yankuba Fall, Vice President of Accounting and Finance. Welcome to our final company presentation. I'm here to explain to you how the strategic decisions we took since the inception of business played out during the 6 quarters of operations. Since the company decided to spend significant amount of money on operational expenses like research and development, advertising, and also compensating sales force personnel from quarter 1 to quarter 4 of operations, we were unable to realize a positive net income until during the 6th quarter of business. We were also in the red in terms of return on investment through the 5th quarter of business. However, despite this negative net income and return on investment, this operational spending was able to help the company continually increase their sales revenue from one quarter to the other, as well as the overall growth of the company. Also, because these spending were done on key strategic areas, it helped put the company on a sustainable growth and also to be more competitive in the future. This is why when we first realized our first positive net income in quarter 6, it was over $5 million, also with about 67% of return on investment. Thank you, and I now pass you on to Gilberto Sanchez Solano to talk to you about the external factors in the environment. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gilberto Sanchez, and I was chosen Vice President of the manufacturing portion for a company called Wildcat Capital. Today I'll be discussing how some of our strategies affected both external factors in the environment and internal factors in the environment. To begin with, I'd like to discuss our external factors. One of the strategies that we use actually made a social change, that being our ads. At the beginning of the 7 quarters, we kind of clustered our ads and we really didn't put the bullet points to catch the segment's eye. We really didn't know how to create an ad. So we received a poor rating in all 3 segments, that being Workhorse, Traveler, and Mercedes. As the quarters progress, we learned to not cluster our ads and put those main points at the top of the page to really appeal to those certain segments and specify to those groups. We actually, in quarter 6, had Horizon SC rated good by the Mercedes class and Elevate XL rated acceptable by the Travelers class. In quarter 7, we had Elevate 2.0 as our best rated ad, that is for the Traveler segment. So you can see how we progress in our ad making. Also, one of our strategies, or 2 of our strategies, affected the competitive environment around us. We, at the beginning of the 7 quarters, we offered a low price but with a high rebate. An example of that being Horizon SC, or Horizon at $2,400 retail price with a $50 rebate, which isn't that high. To attract more customers, we decided to progress it in the next quarters as a lower price but with a higher rebate. An example of that being Elevate 2.0 with a $2,900 retail price but a $300 rebate, which is a lot higher than what we were initially offering. We also had a product differentiation. At the beginning, we were only appealing to 2 segments, that being Traveler and Workhorse, with our Horizon Elevate brands. As the quarters went by, we decided to appeal to all 3 segments, that being Workhorse, Traveler, and Mercedes, which accepted our Horizon, Horizon SC, and Elevate XL brands. Moving on to our internal factors in the environment, some of our strategies changed our internal factors, such as our increase in revenue, so our finances internally. An increase in revenue also means an increase in assets and just gives you more flexibility to increase other things within your company. So one of those things being our increase in ad placement and how many times we appear in those ads to attract the public. Also, we increased our fixed capacity to have more available inventory. So at the beginning, we only had 50 units a day, which comes to 3,250 units a quarter. And by the end, we had a fixed capacity of 275 units a day, which comes roughly to 17,875 units for the quarter. We also had, with increase in revenue, we could increase our compensation for the people. At the beginning of the quarter, we only had a 66.3% worker productivity with a $17,000 salary. By quarter 6, we increased our compensation and the way we treated our workers, and our worker productivity increased to 83.3% with a $23,000 salary. And by quarter 7, we hit the peak at 100% worker productivity with a $33,000 salary. That just shows how our compensation increased our worker productivity, and which also means we increased our available inventory. Something that I learned from all this simulation is that you can't be afraid to take risk, and you also have to listen to all your group and input all ideas. If one thing doesn't work, they'll learn from that mistake and see how you guys can make it better. So what I really took in was the teamwork and the how everyone contributes idea. Following with our financial statements will be Yankuba Fall in the next following slides. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm Yankuba Fall. I'm back here again to talk to you about our financial statements and to give you a snapshot of our projections in every quarter and the outcome of the projections. As you can see, in every area, we either meet our target projections or we outperform what we have projected. Since we started business 6 quarters ago, we were able to generate more sales revenue than projected in every quarter except the 5th quarter of business, when we slightly underperformed our projection. We were also able to end the 6th quarter of business with about $1 million of net income more than what we have projected. This shows that not only that we make reasonable and realistic projections, but we as a company work really hard to meet our target goals. I thank you very much, and before ending, I would like to say that I learned a lot in this class. And also this market simulation has helped giving me a real perspective of how the business world performs. I thank you very much for listening. And on the next slide, I'll pass you on to Tracy Sublet, VP of Human Resources, to talk to you about what we want to do in the future as a company. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Good afternoon. My name is Tracy Sublet, and I am Vice President of Human Resources at Wildcat Capital. According to Marketplace Simulation, our company, Wildcat Capital, had its greatest profitability in our two target segments, Traveler and Mercedes. As our company moves forward, we will continue to develop our top performers. We plan to increase our investment in research and development to upgrade our best-selling brands, elevate Excel, Precision, and Horizon SE, which catered to the Traveler and Mercedes markets. Wildcat Capital is looking to increase its fixed capacity over the next 3 years by approximately 15% annually so that we can fulfill market demands for our products without encountering sustainability problems. We are excited to open a new sales office in Shanghai in the coming quarters and also a new web sales center. Another tactic we plan to incorporate in the coming quarters is the investment in more specialized training in our sales force to engage our target markets and close more deals. And now here's Connor Quinn to speak with you about the lessons we learned on our way to becoming a successful and competitive company. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Connor Quinn and I'm the VP of Sales for Wildcat Capital. Today I'm going to be breaking down our overall lessons learned as a company throughout the simulation. So first off, a list of what a company should do. This is kind of our recommendations after learning the lessons that we did. First off, invest early for a payoff later. As scary as it might be, it might just pay off, and taking the conservative route might just put you behind the pack so far that you can't rise back up. Second point, expand quickly. We chose to not open up a sales office in a certain quarter, and that ended up putting us behind track to open up our fourth sales office in the end. This would have boosted our revenues and sales by a significant amount. So in that instance, we made the wrong call. Third point, good compensation for workers directly increases sales. So basically, if you pay your workers right, they'll work harder. We tracked our competitors' workforce and workforce compensation, so what they were paying their employees and what their worker productivity looked like. So we could pretty much nail the price at where we could pay the employees at the right amount and still get the optimum worker productivity out of them. Fourth point, research demand projections to nail the fixed capacity. This was a tough one for us. It really takes a lot of time and effort into researching all these projections to really find out what the right fixed capacity is for your company. Fifth point, for what a company should do is work with your competitors. As scary as this might seem, it's actually going to benefit you in the end. We tried in multiple quarters to license off technology and work with our competitors, but most of them weren't so apt to working with us. So moving on to what to avoid as a company is, first off, starting with a conservative approach. We ended up doing this in the first couple quarters, and we figured out that this wasn't the best route for us, especially in this simulation. Second point, becoming complacent in the lead. I believe it was quarter 4 when our company actually took the lead by a considerable amount. And I think this is some of the reasoning behind our drop-off in the standings in the end, is because we kind of felt like we had it figured out and didn't take the big risks that the other companies wanted to take to actually overcome us. Third point on what to avoid is overlooking your workforce. This kind of ties into the other section. Overlooking your workforce can actually hurt you by a considerable amount. If your workers aren't putting in the right amount of productivity, you're actually losing money, losing sales, losing revenues, all of that. Fourth point, overestimating projections. This has to do with fixed capacity, stockouts. We had some issues with stockouts that really could have helped us in the end. really just taking the time to research and figure out exactly what we should plan to do next quarter. And the last point on what to avoid is the fear of debt. This was like our main fear in the first couple quarters, so we didn't really take many risks. Tried to keep our financial position above all the other companies, but what happened was they took the risk before us, they jumped ahead, and then we were trying to catch up throughout the last of the simulation. So overall, one personal thing that I learned throughout this simulation is that how much a very minute change in the company can change the company completely throughout the entire spectrum. So just changing one little metric can absolutely make or break your company. I would like to thank my team for a great job this quarter, putting in an amazing work, and also thank you, Mimi, for putting together this awesome course.
And just to finish with our presentation, I just want to say thank you for listening to our final company presentation. Thank you so much for the experience and the work that we had to go through in terms of working as a team. Me and Tracy just want to say that what we learned from our market simulation is the importance of teamwork and working well with each other and listening to everyone's input. I think is very important, as well as learning of the technological things that you had to go through in order to make sure that the presentation went very well. For me, I really, as a CEO, I really want to be thankful that I learned about how to be a good manager and how to listen to other people's opinions and making sure that I play to their strengths. Because I believe as being a good leader doesn't mean to be a boss, is to be a good listener and to make sure that everyone's opinions are heard. Thank you so much, Mimi, for having us as a teacher in this class. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good summer.